a proclamation from Governor Tomblin that said, "Do not use the water in Charleston." And that was really kind of the gist of it. I didn't know what else to expect, and I was just looking for more answers, as everybody was, I'm sure, but it was just kind of a panic thing, thinking that the water is out. There is no water. Do not use your water.
You just knew that there was a leak at Freedom, and that residents weren't supposed to use water at all. Of course, having reported this and living in Charleston, we were just as affected as anyone else. So the first 3 days after the spill, people were coming to work unshowered, basically cleaning up as best you could with like baby wipes or some sort of like, whatever towels you had laying around that you could clean yourself with. Bottled water, bar soap, and a washcloth was about the best you could do.
In short, it was a mess. It was a mess. I was lucky. I had water. But that meant I was sort of ground zero for people who needed showers, who needed to fill up water bottles, for people who just kind of wanted a place where they could get away from the no water situation wherever they were and feel a sense of normalcy for a little bit.
Seeing the infrastructure come into place basically for emergency water rationing was interesting, not only because no one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water, or to only have to be able to shower in a public space every couple of days if you're lucky. Really, we all joked at work that it was like the Batman movie where the Joker poisons everything and within 3 days everybody is stinky and disheveled. And that was really a number one takeaway. How long is it going to be before we can all stand to be in close proximity to each other again?
I think we all were in a bit of disbelief when Gary Southern, someone handed him a bottle of water during that first news conference outside the Freedom Industries headquarters, and he took a swig of water from this bottle. I think we couldn't quite believe that he'd made that kind of a blunder in the midst of all of this, and it really set the tone. That first news conference, the way it was organized, the way Gary Southern interacted with the media, that really set the tone for the way he was perceived by media and how he was perceived in the community, because people were watching that coverage live. It was unfiltered. It was the news conference. It was happening on the air for people to see, and online we were streaming it. So they saw a very unvarnished version of what was happening.
What happens here, where we get a lot of rainfall, we take water for granted. We're rarely under water stress in terms of water quantity stress. We just have so much water, and that water has a dilution value to it, so it dilutes our pollution. But what we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious situation, and not one that's just, environmentalists care about it. Everybody cares about it. Citizens care about it. Businesses care about it. It's wildly important to us, and we see it when we realize it when it's gone or when it's not available to us. That was the first thing that the chemical spill told us, is just how valuable it is. The second thing it taught us is that we have to be protective of that water. We have to be protective of that water because so much of our state, so much of our businesses, our economy depends on it. It is not just people who care about the environment. They care about the environment because of its value to the people that live here. So we have to be protective of it. And that doesn't mean saying nothing can happen around water, because again, there's so much water that's not even close to possible. But we do have to be vigilant when it comes to being protective of it.